Batting fifth, Ryan Mather. Batting sixth, Joel Nash. Batting seventh, Nathan Kenny. And batting eighth, the pitcher, Lyndon Power. Batting ninth, Adam Green. Starting pitcher actually is Logan Power for Newfoundland.
On the bench.
Starting lineup for Owen Sound Selects. Batting first at third base.
Welcome everybody to the
Owen
evening
Torrey.
game here. We've got Owen Sound
Batting
versus
second,
Newfoundland.
the shortstop, Dallas Skipper. Batting third, left field, Clay Dolbar. Batting fourth and cleanup, the designated hitter, Wade Kemisting. Batting fifth, the right fielder, Brady Hogg. Batting sixth and catching, Brendan Hagerman. Batting seventh, first baseman, Curtis Roos. Batting eighth, second baseman, Mitch McCollum. Batting ninth, left fielder, Aiden Yord. Starting pitcher for Owen Sound is Riley Mannion, who also pitches for Canada's national fastball team.
All right, everybody, thank you for joining us for the evening game, Owen Sound versus Newfoundland.
Getting up 0-1 early here. Should be a fun game, Aaron.
It should. This is two teams that are absolutely stacked with current and former junior men's national team players, so it should be high-quality ball.
Just outside, got a 1-1 count.
So as you may have heard the announcer say, starting pitcher is Riley Mannion of Owen Sound. He's a national team member, and the catcher is Hagerman, who's also on the national team. Those two have played together for quite a while.
Sits back and pulls a change-up down the first baseline and kind of handcuffed the first baseman there.
That's a pretty hot shot to start the game at first base.
It is. Bat, runner on first, nobody out. Just a bit inside there. One ball.
Pomeroy looking down to the third base coach. Not sure if he's going to run here or not. It looks like he could be quick. It's the starting center fielder for Newfoundland.
Ball down, 2-0 count.
For those just joining us, we just finished the opening ceremonies, which featured a whole host of local politicians and others welcoming the crowd.
Swinging strike for a 2-1 count. Another one of those favorable carp backstop bounces for the catcher. Runner stays put. 2-1 count.
Yeah, we've both played a few games here.
We have. As I said in the earlier game, I've taken advantage of some bounces as a catcher and fallen victim as a base runner. So. In there for a strike with a 2-2 count here. Top of the first with a runner on first base.
So both of these teams won their earlier games today.
Good change up there by Mannion to get him swinging. Strike three. First out of the inning.
Shea had a very good first game. I was watching from the center field fence. He had some great hits. And he was just sat down. Now up to bat is Stack. Stack's another person in the national team pool from the Newfoundland team, and he's playing third base today.
Runner was going. Can't see a foul ball.
Looks like it scattered some fans down the first base side.
0-1 count here. Looked like the hit and run was on. We'll see what happens on this next pitch. Still one out, top of the first. Pomeroy on first base.
He's liking that outside corner so far.
He is. Batter doesn't agree, but
It's
Mannion
close.
up.
It's in there.
Mannion's up. 2-strike count here. 0-2. Runner on first. Good hold by the batter on that rise ball. 1-2 count. Still one out.
We've had absolutely perfect weather in Carp this afternoon, and not a cloud in the sky. We've got pretty good fans here, more coming to enjoy the beer tent and the food put on by the West Carleton Amateur Sports Club. It's turning out to be a great first day.
Yeah, great turnout for the first day, Aaron.
Yeah, for a Tuesday after a long weekend, I'm surprised how many people are here.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Still one out and a runner on first base. Stack looking to take advantage here. Change up down in the dirt, pushes the count full.
He thought about it for a split second, was able to hold back.
Mannion has certainly used his changeup to his advantage today in the earlier game. Ball 4.
2 men on.
Good at bat there by
Now
Stack.
batting for Newfoundland. The first baseman, number 7, Jordan Hamilton.
Runners on first and second. Mannion just getting a slightly less yellow ball. Hamilton at the dish here. 2 on, sorry. 1 out.
Hamilton will be playing first base for Newfoundland.
First pitch just inside for a ball. 1-0 count. Chopped foul. 1-1 count here. Just a bit behind Hamilton was on that pitch.
Newfoundland has a little bit going here in this top of the first inning with 2 guys on.
Similar to the first game, Mannion had gave up a few runs in the first and settled right in after that, so we'll see what happens here.
The Owen Sound selects here, obviously representing Ontario, is Ontario 1.
1-2 pitch on the way from Mannion. Gets him swinging. 2 outs.
Now batting for Newfoundland,
4 teams from Ontario, Aaron, I believe. Is that correct?
number 23, Ryan Mather, second base.
That's right. We've got 4 teams from Ontario, including the host team from the Ottawa Valley. And the Ontario teams are doing pretty good on day 1. Tavistock had a win. Owen Sound had a win. Alvinston lost a close game against Newfoundland.
Ryan Mayer at the plate. Runners on first and second with 2 out. Mare not able to hold up on that one.
Yeah, that had to have been on the swing, right? I think.
I believe so. No appeal needed. 0-1 count. 2 out. Pitch on the way from Mannion. On the swing again. 2 strikes. See if Mannion can get out of trouble here. Just up. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
There's a second game just about to get underway on Diamond 2 between Tavistock and Quebec.
That should be another good game. 1-2 count. Strike 3 looking.
There you go. Gets out of trouble.
Inside corner. After the top half of the first. 0-0. And
Just 2 walks, I think, right?
I believe so, yeah. No hits. 2 walks, no errors, and
At the end.
we'll have Newfoundland coming up.
At the middle of the first. 0-0.
All right, we're back here. So pitching for Team Newfoundland and Labrador is Logan Power. I missed the first game. Did he pitch the first game as well?
I showed up partway through. I can't remember who was throwing for them. I believe he was.
We'll get a good look at him now. We've got a beautiful vantage point just behind the catcher, elevated. The guys that run the Carp Ball Diamond did so much work to get this field ready, including completely redoing the announcer's booth.
We appreciate that. And the dugouts were new last year, I believe.
And we've got the new black and yellow monster in left field for a scoreboard.
First pitch
Oh.
from deep to center and caught for the first out of the inning.
Not quite enough. The sound of that, I thought that might have been gone, but that's right to
90
the
seconds
center
for
fielder.
Owen Sound. Number 14, the shortstop, Dallas Kemper.
Decent little play by Pomeroy of Newfoundland to trot over there. Caught it on the warning track.
Got 1 pitch and 1 out here. Kipper up to bat.
Kiefer's another athlete who's in the national team program.
Skipped in for ball 1.
Another hit right up the middle.
Big swing on an inside pitch there.
It was.
93rd, for Owen Sound selects number 34, the left fielder, Clay Dolbear.
Dolbear up with 1 out and 1 on.
Delbert starting the game in left field for Owen Sound.
Outside for ball one. See if Owen Sound can get something going here. I think we're going to have our first conversation between the umpire and the pitcher for staying in the chute.
Yeah, I attended the catchers meeting, not the catchers meeting, the coaches meeting last night, and the umpires were very clear with the pitchers that it's at a national level event. They need to be calling all the proper pitching rules. So the ones that you most frequently see called is outside the chute, or not pausing properly. And outside the chute is obviously when you're jumping from one side or the other of the mound rather than straight forward. And the pause rule is obviously you need to do a bit of a pause before you move forward, and the pause has to be when you're already stepping back rather than pausing and then step back. So the coaches were warned about that, and they've been calling it so far today.
Yeah, hard for us to know up here which one they're discussing, but it's certainly been a point of emphasis on this diamond in the first couple of innings, and we'll see if it becomes an issue.
The umpire-in-chief was explaining that back in 2019, Softball Canada had agreed to, on a trial basis, draw in lines indicating the actual chute and the location of it.
Right.
And they were supposed to do that in 2020, and of course we all know 2020 didn't really happen. And, it seems like that idea had been forgotten, at least for now, but it might be back on the table depending on what happens at these ongoing national championships this year.
Ball four, Colbert, and
Batting cleanup for Owen Sound selects number 7, Wade Kewachasing.
batting cleanup here for Owen Sound. Wade Kawagashig. Runners on first and second with one out. See if Owen Sound can get some runs on the board here.
Wade's the designated player for Owen Sound. I remember him doing some damage in their first game this morning.
Pitch was down for a 1-0 count. He's up early. Pitch on the way. Ripped through the hole.
And coming around third. All right, so Owen Sound gets their first run there on a single.
Owen Sound, number 25, the right fielder, Brady Hogue.
Owen Sound on the board. Still have runners on the corners here with one out. Brady Hogue at the plate. That's in there for a strike.
Brady is yet another player in this game who's in the national team program.
Another conversation here between the umpire and the pitcher.
I think that one may have been a pause separation issue. I saw the umpire gesturing, but that's just my uneducated guess from up here.
Yeah, pitcher seems a little frustrated, but he's going to emphasize it. Pitchers are going to have to adjust.
Yep. And you know what? Early in the tournament's the time for the umpires to do some education and call these illegal pitches so that the teams all know how it's going to go, and it's no surprise in the championship rounds.
Oh, change up in the dirt. Got him swinging, but he stayed at third.
Yeah, the ball got away from the catcher, but not too far. We now have runners on second and third.
Good cover by the pitcher there to back up his catcher.
And the catcher got a pretty good job. He slowed that ball down as it was bouncing around him, but wasn't able to quite keep it in front of him.
Strike three swinging. We got two outs now. And Hagerman coming up to the plate.
Owen Sound, number 17, the catcher, Brendan Hagerman.
Hagerman's the catcher in this game. Also catcher with the junior national team.
Ball up and out. 1-0 count. See if Power can limit the damage here and get them out of the inning. Still runners on second and third.
Yeah, both teams have started this game with 2 runners on. Newfoundland was not able to push any across in the top of the first.
Pitch on the outside corner gets in there. 1-1 count.
It's the other outside corner. The umpire's got both corners there covered. Those are hitting the corners, though. Those are right on the block.
They are. Oh.
That's going to score one for sure. We got another run coming around. And Owen Sound's able to cash in 2 here in the bottom of the first.
For Owen Sound, number 67, the first baseman, Curtis Roots.
Hagerman ripped it through the hole there between third and short and brought those 2 runners in.
I think that was a changeup, wasn't it?
It looked like one, yes.
Yeah, he was
Sat
able
back.
to wait.
Pops up the first pitch. Short cramps under it. Limits the damage. Power gets out of it. We've got a 3-0 game after 1 complete inning for Owen Sound. Up 3-0 over Team Newfoundland and Labrador.
Perfect. So we've got Joel Nash, who's the right fielder for Newfoundland, leading off. For those just joining us, it's now 3-0 for Owen Sound.
Ball just outside. Good first bottom of the first inning for Owen Sound.
Absolutely. First inning had a lot of action already. Both teams had 2 runners on, and Owen Sound were able to score 2 and then an earlier one. So we've got a 3-0 ball game, but it's definitely not over. Both of these teams are very strong.
Nash fouled that last one off. We got a 1-1 count on the way. Outside again for a 2-1 count.
For those Ottawa area softball fans, I was walking the grounds earlier and I saw a couple Carp Valley Pride Jackets, which is a little bit of a blast from the past. That was a good local team that traveled, I think, all over North America.
I think so. We were talking 80s, 90s.
Yeah.
Another pitch outside by Mannion. Nash has worked a 3-1 count here. Slaps at strike 2, misses. Full count. Nobody on, nobody out. 3-2 pitch on the way from Mannion. Pushed out to left center and corralled by the left fielder for the first out of the inning.
He got a good piece of that ball. That looked like
batting
perhaps
for
a rise
Newfoundland.
ball that just sat a little bit too close in the zone.
Number 8, the left fielder, Nathan Kenny.
I think that's Mannion's first conversation with the plate umpire.
We've seen now the umpire doing some education with both pitchers just to make sure that they're complying with the rules here.
Nathan Kenny looks at strike 1.
Kenny didn't like that one, which was on the outside corner.
Jammed him on the inside there for the second out.
Shaking his hands off as he goes back to the
The
dugout.
designated hitter, number 73, Lyndon Power.
So we've got 2 Powers on Team Newfoundland, Lyndon Power and Logan Power.
Two outs here. First pitch from Mannion. Change up down in the zone for a ball.
For those joining us who aren't too familiar with men's fast pitch, Newfoundland's a hotbed of fast pitch softball in the country. There's many senior men national team players from Newfoundland, and obviously a few of these athletes here in the junior program. And they're hosting the senior men's and senior masters in St. John's, Newfoundland in a few weeks.
1-1 pitch down in the dirt for a 2-1 count. Yeah, Newfoundland's been a hotbed for quite a while now. Always put up solid teams for men nationals and pushing guys through to the national team.
Owen Sound too is a hot spot for ball. Always seems to have strong teams. I know one of their coaches is involved in the Team Ontario program.
High pop up to left, corralled for the third out of the inning.
It looks like an easy play, but he's got quite a bit of sun over there in left
He does.
field. So we've got no score for Newfoundland in the top of the first.
Second.
Top of the second.
That's okay.
Midway through the second.
So we're in the bottom of the second inning here. Owen Sound has the bottom of their order up, 8-9-1.
Mitch McComb at the dish. Logan Powers still throwing. First pitch up and out for ball 1.
I hear some action going on Diamond 2, which you'll be able to follow on the Game Changer app.
Pitch in there for a strike. 1-1 count.
I'll try to pull up the app myself and give you some updates from Diamond 2 from time to time. Luckily, we're having a lot of games this week on Diamond 1, so you should be able to watch your favorite team.
That's Tavistock in Quebec on Diamond 2, I think. Is that right, Aaron?
That's right. Game Changers currently showing nothing score in the first, but I see some red shirts on base, which is Tavistock.
McCombs worked a 3-1 count here. Look like a little off-speed pitch in there for strike 2.
And the pitcher, Logan Power, seems to be settling in a bit. There hasn't been any umpire visits.
3-2 pitch on the way from Power. Combe takes ball 4 up high. The leadoff walk.
It's a bit high. That wasn't a bad rise ball. Just was able to lay off it.
Now batting for Owen Sound, number 36, the left fielder, Aiden Yurdy.
So we've got a runner on first. We've got the 9 batter up. And Owen Sound's very potent top of the lineup getting ready to go.
First pitch on the way. Squares up to bunt and just fouls it down. Strike 1.
I haven't seen too many bunt attempts so far today, have you?
No. Did see one pop out on a bunt attempt in the last game.
I think I've seen more home runs so far today than bunt attempts. So
That's true.
You certainly see a lot more bunting in the women's game where I'm more familiar.
It is a lost art that has kind of disappeared from the men's game. Home run seems to be favored.
It's funny when you watch the international ball, some of the teams in different countries go about it very differently. The New Zealand national team, you see a lot of bunts. I think it's Venezuela was the other one I noticed, tons of bunts, the last World Championships.
1-1 pitch on the way from Power. In there for a ball. Snap throw down to first. He's safe.
Pretty good throw.
Not a lot of left-handed catchers in the game, but I've seen 2 already today. One from Newfoundland, and I believe the other one was Saskatchewan.
Makes that snap throw to first pretty easy.
It does. 2-1 pitch on the way. Good job laying off that high rise ball. 3-1 count.
That's not a bad pitch. You know, it's moving pretty late. It's just these Owen Sound hitters are doing a good job not swinging at it.
Very disciplined. Yardy's worked a 3-1 count. Pitch on the way. Rip back up the middle. Throw into third. And we're in there. Head first slide.
Nice.
Runners at second and third. Nobody out. Good job by Yardy to advance on that throw to third.
Now batting for Owen Sound selects. We're back to the top of the order. The leadoff hitter, number 24, the third baseman, Owen Torrey.
As you may have heard from the announcer, we've got Tori up, who's the leadoff batter. Owen Sound has something going here. They've got runners on second and third and some big hitters coming up. Tori, Kiefer, and Delbier.
No outs still.
None out. The runs so far were scored by Hagerman with a 2 RBI single, and Kawagostig with a 1 RBI single.
Runners at second, third. Top of the order up. First pitch on the way. Torrey holds off on that ball down in the dirt. Ball 1. Gets the sign from the third base coach. The 1-0 pitch on the way. Outside for ball 2.
We've got 2 national championships being hosted in Eastern Ontario at the same time. There's a tournament going on a couple hours down the road in Napanee, the U20 men's.
2-0 pitch. Popped out to the shortstop for the first out of the inning. Brings up Dallas Kiefer.
Now batting for Owen Sound, number 14, the shortstop, Dallas Kiefer.
It's a dangerous batter here. Kiefer is the shortstop for Owen Sound. Another player in this game in the national team program.
Power tries to sneak a curveball in there. I think it's the first one I've seen him throw.
I think so.
Just outside for ball 1.
That's not a bad little pitch if he can find the zone a bit.
At the track. Going to bring 1 in from third, and the runner from second advances to third.
That was a good throw by the center fielder, Pomeroy, for Newfoundland, but we've got another run across for Owen Sound to make it 4-0.
Now batting for Owen Sound, number 34, the left fielder, Clay Dollar.
Dolbear up with 2 outs and a runner on third base.
Owen Sound's done a great job so far in this game with cashing in runners they get on base.
First pitch down in the dirt for ball 1. Dolbear looking to score Yardy from third here.
That's a well-hit ball, the left field, but it's going to be foul. Don't know if you can quite see it on the screen. I think it's just out of view, but it was just past the brand new scoreboard in left field here in Carp.
One pitch on the way. Dolbear looks at ball 2 in the dirt. Two-one pitch. Down in the dirt again for ball 3.
You know, these Owen Sound batters have been doing a really good job at not chasing anything out of the zone so far. You know, a lot of borderline pitches where, you know, you might see a batter swing at. They're just not biting.
Still very disciplined. 3-1 pitch on the way. See if we can cash one from third. Inside for ball 4.
All right, we got first and third here.
Wade Kawagashade coming up to bat.
Owen Sound, number 7, the designated hitter, Wade Kawagashade.
All right, so we got first and third here with, we got 2 out, right?
We do. I think we're going to see a pitching change. Power's going to be exiting the game. And we have Jacob Kippenhut. Maybe I'm trying to see him. He's not in the program, but on our roster or the score sheet, sorry, it says Jacob Kippenhuck.
I know that some teams added some players after the scorebook was printed, so this might be one of those players. Let's see here.
Is this the second inning? Power lasts an inning and 2/3.
Yeah, bottom of 2. So the score is now.
pitching.
Oh,
For Newfoundland, number 5, Jacob Kippenhook.
all right. So that's the new pitcher in, and it's 4-0 for Owen Sound in the bottom of 2. So they Newfoundland wastes no time switching up the pitcher before the game gets, I guess, too out of hand here. Newfoundland does have batters, so if they can stay in this game, give themselves a chance, they definitely can score runs.
Waugashig looks at strike 1. And another mound visit.
Umpire does not waste any time there, so it's hard to tell by his gestures if it's a pausing issue or a shoot issue, but they've been on them so far this game to make sure they're following the rules.
It looked pretty straight there, so I'm going to guess it was a pause issue.
Yeah, I'll watch closer here.
See what happens. 0-1 count.
Yeah, I think it's a pause issue. He's a bit quick coming out of that pause.
Strike 2 swinging. Runners on first and third here with 2 out. Waugashig hoping to put a few more runs across.
He already has 1 RBI and a single in this game. Oh.
Goes down swinging on strike 3 up. After 2 complete, I believe it's 4-0 Owen Sound over Newfoundland.
All right, so we've got the 9 batter up for Newfoundland and Labrador. Catcher.
Adrian Green, number 22. First pitch on the way.
So it's
in there for a strike.
So it's the top of the third. Newfoundland has some work to do. They're in a 4-0 hole here, but they're just about to turn it over to the top of their lineup, which is stacked with good hitters. So they're still in this game.
Oh, Mannion with a changeup. 0-2 count.
Not a bad pitch to throw to a team that needs to score runs. They're going to be anxious.
Pitch popped out of play. Foul ball. Still an 0-2 count. They have had a tough time laying off his changeup.
And he hasn't been throwing it too often, so it's not an every batter type of pitch, so it's been very effective. There's another one.
There's another one in there for strike 3.
That one was a bit dangerous if you would have saw it coming, because that was pretty much right down the middle, but it clearly just hung him up.
Now batting for Newfoundland, number 20, the left fielder, the leadoff hitter, Jordan Pomeroy.
Top of the order coming up here, 1 out.
So Pomeroy so far this game has had a walk. Does a good job laying off that pitch, which is just a bit outside.
One 0 count, 1 out. Looks like the shadows might be leaving us here in the next little bit. Good contact to the shortstop.
Yeah, and he was safe. That's a really quick run there by Pomeroy. I hadn't seen him run full speed yet, but leadoff batter, center fielder.
The shortstop.
Cut down the first baseline in a hurry.
Liam Shea.
See what Newfoundland can do with it here. We got speedy runner on first.
Yeah, we got a speedy runner here too with Shea, who's the shortstop.
Shows strike 1.
Yeah, shows the bunt, and Owen Sound crashed pretty good there, but we'll see. Left field right now has some awful sun, so that fielder is going to have some trouble for probably another half inning.
It's a little bit of a sting into it. Good job by the left fielder to corral that one in. 2 out.
That looked like it might have been a hit and run. Pomeroy took a real big jump there and was almost at second base and had to retreat.
Number 12.
He just missed that one off the end of the bat there.
Stack.
Got 2 outs. Runner on first base. Stack at the dish.
So Stack is the third batter this inning from Newfoundland, who's in the national team program.
Wouldn't be surprised to see him go first pitch here.
Yeah, he looks.
Everyone seems to think that's going to be happening, so they're having a chat about it.
Yeah. Hagerman's got a good arm too. It will be a little contest here to see if he can get him if he does decide to go. It's a pitch out, it looks like. Yeah.
Not going. Ball 1. Still 2 outs and a runner on first base.
Batter doesn't like that called strike on the outside corner.
Stack facing a 1-1 count. Pitch on the way. Outside for ball 2.
That's definitely outside. For those just joining us, we have a great crowd here in Carp. A beautiful night, not a cloud in the sky. Barely a breeze.
Ball's ripped through the hole. Going first to third. Stack holds up at first.
Now batting for Newfoundland.
Pomeroy gave it a thought of coming home.
Number 7, Jordan Hamilton.
See if Newfoundland can make some noise here. And we got runners on the corners, 2 out. And Jordan Hamilton at the dish.
They're really hoping, I'm sure, to get something going here. They're currently down 4-0 in the top of the third. They're at the top of their order. Now's a great time to start clawing back into this game.
First pitch swung. Third and short, can't come up with it. They score a run.
That's the first misplay of the day here for Owen Sound. It's a tough little ball there in between third and short with some quick runners.
Good contact by Hamilton, forced him to make a play.
The second baseman, number 23, Ryan Mather.
Over on the other diamond, Tavistock's up to an early lead, 3-0 over Team Quebec.
2 outs, runners on first and second. Mayer at the dish. Looks at strike one on the inside corner.
As you know, all the games are live score keeping over on the Game Changer app.
Mayer facing a 1-1 count here. Top of the third with 2 out. Runners on first and second. Push down to third. And it's in there in time for the third out of the inning. After the top half of the third, Newfoundland pushes a run across. Keep the score at 4-1.
So Owen Sound has a healthy lead in this ball game, but Newfoundland got one back in the last inning.
Lowe looks at a first pitch rise ball outside of the zone, 1-0 count.
For those just joining us, it's Aaron Durant and Ryan Clare in the broadcast booth.
Puts a sting into that one out to left field. Off the top of the fence. And Hoag's in there with a stand-up double.
That first left the bat, I thought it was gone for sure.
I did too.
But
needed a little gust of wind to help him out.
The catcher, number 17, Brendan Hagerman.
the flags aren't even moving here, so it looks like there's absolutely no breeze out there. And the left fielder had a tough play on that ball, even though it went off the fence. He's definitely in the sun field right now. The sun will be down behind the trees any second.
Hagerman up with Hoag standing on second.
Hagerman must have called a time there. Hagerman has 1 hit and 2 RBIs so far this game.
Fouls that one off for strike one.
Hagerman catching this game for Owen Sound. Manion pitching. Both players in the national team program. Lots of experience playing together.
Kippenhuck throwing for Newfoundland now. Hagerman swings at another rise ball, fouls it off, strike two.
This pitcher came in last inning in relief of Logan Power. I think all pitchers so far this game have had at least one visit from the home plate umpire just to remind them of some of the rules, but they all seem to be settling in good now.
0-2 pitch on the way. Get some swings. First out of the inning. Looked like a nice little change up there.
Yeah, definitely a different look from
Now
their
batting
first
for
pitcher.
Owen Sound, the first baseman, number 67, Curtis Roos.
Curtis is playing first base for Owen Sound.
Home plate umpire just asking the coaches and players to be back inside the dugout.
We've got open dugout doors here in Carp, and excited ball players and coaches tend to lean out those to get a good view, so the umpire's making sure everyone's protected and inside the dugouts.
Kippenhuck with a little slip there on that first pitch. Ball one.
He's much taller than the other pitchers, so he may be having trouble at the landing zone.
And as the first lefty into the game. It's not quite dug out yet.
The host committee, led by Jeff Latham and Wayne Latham, have done a whole lot of work on these diamonds, getting them into shape. The grass, I've never seen greener out here. They've built brand new dugouts. We are sitting in a brand new announcer's booth. It looks like a whole new ballpark.
1-1 pitch on the way. In there for a strike.
I know they spent some time over the past couple of weeks pounding down that area in front of the pitcher's mound to make sure it was as sturdy as it could get for a tournament like this. As anyone knows who pitches, it does get soft eventually, just given the wear and tear.
Strike three swinging. Got two outs.
Now batting for Owen Sound, number 11, the second baseman, Mitch McComb.
That tends to also be the right-handed batter's box.
That's true. I like to spend most of my time in the left-handed batter's box, which tends to be okay here in Carp.
Yes. See if Kippenhuck can get out of trouble here. Hoag's still on second, two outs. 1-0 count.
He's done a good job so far, limiting the damage from Owen Sound, who's jumped out to an early lead here in this game. Oh, wow.
Beautiful catch.
Wow.
Center field.
That looked like a gapper for sure, but again, that was Pomeroy, who's a national team athlete, outfielder, with an absolutely amazing catch in center field, left center, to end the inning.
Gets Newfoundland out of the inning. We're still at 4-0.
4-1.
4-1, sorry. After three complete.
No runs that inning for Owen Sound, one left on base, with one hit. Be sure to look for
Top of the fourth here, Joel Nash leading things off. First pitch on the way. In there for a strike.
So I'm just catching up on some of the comments here on the Facebook chat, and thank you that we've been saying Yardy's name wrong. It's Yard with an E.
Yard with an E. Perfect.
Yardy.
I'm sure it's not the first name we will mispronounce, but we'll try and get them all right by the weekend. Thank you for whoever let us know that one. Any help is much appreciated. Nash held up there.
I see we've got a bunch of Newfoundland fans in the chat. Now it's a pricey trip to come all the way to Ontario because I'll be traveling out to Newfoundland for the senior men's in a few weeks, and it certainly is an investment to get out there for a whole week, but I'm excited to watch some ball down there.
Strike three on the outside corner. Nash goes down looking. First out of the inning.
That was a nice pitch. Right on the corner.
For Newfoundland. Number 8, the left fielder, Nathan Kenny.
Yeah, I can tell you that one was outside of the chute a little bit. Pitcher not liking it, but
home plate umpire has been pretty consistent with this.
yeah, and he spent time, with the pitchers warning them, and as I said earlier, now's the time to do it, so they're used to it by the playoffs. There we go, and he's went very straight that time.
1-1 count here. 1 out. Pitch outside for a ball. Pitchers are certainly capable of coming straight on.
It's tough for them because, depending on where you're playing throughout the year and in your league, if the umpires aren't calling it, you can get into the bad habits, and you show up at a provincials and a nationals, and all of a sudden you have to change your mechanics a little bit. But these pitchers, it hasn't seemed to throw them off too much. Sometimes where, you see after the umpires come out, they get really upset. But so far they seem to be taking the advice and correcting themselves, which is good.
It's certainly tough. I mean, there's some leagues that will actually discourage the umpires from making that call, help their pitchers. 1-2 pitch just outside. 2-2 count here for Kenny.
This umpire's had a fairly healthy strike zone.
Apologies, 3-2 count. Sorry, Aaron.
It's okay. This umpire's had a fairly healthy strike zone for both teams. He's liking the corners.
3-2 pitch fouled off. Kenny stays alive.
The Newfoundland batters are likely feeling the pressure down in this game, 4-1. Already in the fourth inning. I think so.
3-2 pitch on the way. And Kenny takes it back up the middle for a single. It's good at bat by Kenny right there.
Just past the glove of Mannion, who reached out trying to get it.
Batting for Newfoundland, the designated hitter, number 73, Lyndon Power.
So Newfoundland trying to get a little rally going here at the bottom of the order. Runner on first, 1 out.
Power squares the bunt, pulls back, in there for a strike.
Hard to know if that was going to be a real bunt or if he was just showing bunt there, because he pulled back pretty early. Runner on first looks like he's got wheels.
Oh, big change up by Mannion, 0-2 count.
We were talking earlier about that changeup, and it's been very effective when he throws it, and I like it because he's not throwing it every batter.
No,
and
not too often, which makes it that much more, yeah.
Yeah, and he throws pretty hard when he's not throwing the changeup, so it's a big surprise.
Another one that Power's just able to get a piece of.
He did that earlier, too. He doubled up to the same batter. He may have the scouting report on him. I'm not sure.
Might. Power trying to keep things moving here. 0-2 count with a runner on first base.
I always think it's a good strategy to throw change-ups and other pitches outside the zone when teams are down and they need runs.
Power looks at strike 3 on the outside corner for the second out of the inning.
Now batting for Newfoundland, number 22, the catcher, Adrian Green.
So Green's the ninth batter in the lineup for Newfoundland, and they're hoping to get something going here to catch up to Owen Sound, who's up 4-1.
Kenny takes second.
That pitch just missed the batter's hands.
Pass ball or wild pitch on that one, Aaron?
Pass ball, I would say.
See, as a catcher, I would say that doesn't exist. Only wild pitches.
I know.
That's a tough one for him to come up with, going at the batter like that. 1-0 count.
I'm married to a catcher, so I should know that that's a wild pitch.
That's true, right? It's true.
Luckily, I think he's out here watching the game rather than listening to me, so he won't be yelling at me when I get home, calling that a pass ball.
1-1 pitch on the way. In there for strike 2 on the outside corner. 1-2 count here with 2 outs. Top of the 4th. Nathan Kenny still on second.
Newfoundland has 3 really strong hitters at the top of their lineup if they can turn this around. Turn this lineup over.
Outside for a ball, and Kenny takes third on the pass.
We'll agree that that one's a wild pitch.
See if Green can cash the runner on third here. 2 outs.
Mannion started this game when he pitched also earlier today, I believe.
He did. 4 complete.
He's getting dangerously close to that being outside the chute again on that last pitch.
3-2 pitch on the way. Good job getting a piece of that one by Green. Staying alive.
The catcher Hagerman out to talk to his pitcher a bit here.
See if Green can get on and, as you said, roll this lineup over. 2 outs. Nathan Kenny still on third.
On deck we've got Pomeroy, who just had that amazing catch not too long ago in center field, left center field.
Oh, good sting put in it. Gobbled up by the center fielder. Mannion gets out of trouble. And we'll take Owen Sound into the bottom half of the 4th. Still up 4-1.
No runs on. 1 man left on base.
right, we've got Yardy up to bat. Again, I'd like to thank a fan who corrected me on his name pronunciation.
It's kind of tricky sometimes, Aiden Yard, but of course, as we all know with ball, everyone gets a nickname, and Yard leading things off for us here. Bottom of 4. Ball low and away for a 1-0 count.
Now batting for Owen Sound, number 36, the center fielder, Adrian Yardy.
We're getting more and more fans in here in beautiful Carp, Ontario. It's the first time that we've hosted a junior men's in over 30 years. And I'm told that Carp actually hosted the very first, not Carp, but Ottawa hosted the very first junior men's competition.
Yard looks at strike 2. Not too pleased about it. Umpire told him to get back in the box. Facing a 1-2 count.
There were a few things emphasized at the coaches meeting that I sat in on. One was certainly the pitching rules. Another was the umpires and the Softball Canada reps emphasizing sportsmanship and following the codes of conduct and not wanting to see the stomping around and swearing that you sometimes see, especially on the senior side. And today I haven't seen much of anything. You know, the teams have been very, very polite to everybody. And
very respectful.
Yeah.
Yard's worked a 2-2 count here. And pushes one into right field. Bobbled by the right fielder, but scoops it up in time to keep Yard at first base.
That right fielder for Newfoundland showing off a strong arm, Nash.
Now batting for Owen Sound, number 24, the leadoff hitter, third baseman Owen Torrey.
Back to the top of the order here, Aaron. We'll see what they decide to do with Yard on first and nobody out.
And I just see on the stream on Facebook that a Courtney Torrey just joined, watching just in time to see Torrey bat.
Squares up, ball gets away, and Yard down to second with no throw.
For those just joining us, it's 4-1. Owen Sound came off hitting well to start this game. Newfoundland's kept them close the past couple innings. Earned back a run.
Second pitch gets away, Yard down to third. 2-0 count here. Yard, who's down at third base, is actually quite an accomplished hockey player as well. Crossing over into the fastball.
We tend to see lots of multi-sport athletes playing this game, and definitely lots of hockey players. Wayne Gretzky was a baseball hockey guy all growing up, and I know he's a big proponent of keeping people playing multiple sports as long as possible and getting away from the one sport isolation that you sometimes see these days. And
I would agree with that one.
For sure.
Yard going to be having a birthday here while he's in Carp. Ball 4.
Now batting for Owen Sound, number 14, the shortstop, Dallas Kipfer.
Kippenhuck in some trouble here for the first time with runners on first and third with nobody out.
The Newfoundland boys are still trying to keep their pitcher fired up here and staying in this game. We're now at the top of the order again for Owen Sound.
Healthy cut there by Kiefer for strike 1.
Runners on the corners here and some signs going around.
See if the runner goes from first.
Stays for now.
Good healthy jump, no throw. See what the coach put on here for this one. Kiefer looks at a strike on the outside corner. Nobody out here. 1-2 pitch on the way. Runners on the corners.
Over on the other diamond, we've got a score of 7-0. Tavistock over Team Quebec.
Runner goes to second. Takes it. Throws cut off, and the third runner on third stays put.
Throw is just on the other side of the second baseman. It wasn't a bad attempt to get him. The runner didn't go home, so we're still 2 on.
2-2 count. Nobody out. Sorry. Is 1 out? I can't remember if we got 1 or none out.
I believe there's 1 out.
Three-two count. Pitch on the way. Goes down swinging at a rise ball. That's a big out right there, Aaron.
That was, and that's a good location for that pitch, in on the hands.
Now batting for Owen Sound, number 34, the left fielder, Clay Dobar.
I think that's the first out.
Was it?
Yeah. I think that's the first out. Yard let off. Tori's on second.
We're going to get some assistance here from the actual scorekeepers. We're
Dolbear at the dish. Runners on second and third. We think 1 out.
I can confirm only 1 out. Tomorrow we're actually going to bring a scorebook up here so we know, how many people are actually out. But live and learn. Live and learn. It's my first time back in the announcer's booth since approximately 2018. A little bit rusty. I try my best during the Blue Jays game, but sometimes I use some words that probably shouldn't be repeated on this game.
Good to see Buck Martinez back in the booth with them too.
Very good. And he's been good luck for them since he's been back.
Dolbear at the dish here, hoping to cash these 2 runners on second and third. Blow things open for Owen Sound. Pitch is down in the dirt. Rise ball up and out of the zone.
Catcher did a good job corralling that. We've got a challenging backstop here in Carp. Often the ball will bounce right back at the catcher, but we do have a runner on third here who looks thirsty to get home.
3-1 count. Fouled off by Dolbear for push the count to full with 1 out. Yeah, if one of these 2 runners or both of them could score, that would really blow things open for Owen Sound, putting them up 4 or 5.
Yep.
Full count pitch on the way. Dolbear gets another piece of that one. Staying alive.
We still have one more game after this one on Diamond 1 tonight. Starting at approximately 9 o'clock Eastern. Saskatchewan versus the host, Ottawa Valley.
Dolbear caught looking at strike 3. We got 2 outs here. Still runners on second
Batting
and
for Owen
third.
Sound, number 7, the designated hitter, Wade Kiwanising.
Wade Kawagashig up to bat.
Wade already has an RBI in this game. He was the first batter to get Owen Sound on board.
See if you can push two more across here for them. Sits on a changeup. Oh, nice play by the second baseman, diving grab.
Very nice play by Matter, second base for Newfoundland.
After 4 complete. Score is
4-1.
in favor of Owen Sound.
Welcome back, and Jordan Pomeroy is up for Team Newfoundland, leadoff batter, center fielder, who's made already some amazing catches here in Carp.
First pitch up and in, he got to it, fouled it off. 0-1 count in favor of Mannion. Riley Mannion throwing a great game so far through 4 innings.
It's great to see so many people
Sits
watching.
back on that one, gives it a ride.
Right at the fence. You know,
Now batting for Newfoundland, number 9, the shortstop, Liam Shea.
Pomeroy put a good sting in it there, Aaron, but nice play by the left fielder to corral that one in.
You know, Newfoundland's not having a whole bunch of strikeouts. They're hitting the ball hard. They're having a bit of bad luck here. A little bit of wind and that ball's gone. As we said earlier, there's 0 wind right now in Carp. The flags aren't moving.
There were some gusts blowing actually out to center field this afternoon. Helped a couple of batters for sure. But it's pretty still right now.
We still have 0 clouds. Absolutely perfect weather out here.
One out.
For those that don't know, this event was originally scheduled to be in Carp in 2020 and of course was canceled due to the COVID-19 pandemic. Canceled again in 2021 for the same reason. So I know that the host committee, including myself, is just grateful to finally have this event happen after so many years of planning.
1-2 pitch on the way here.
Yeah, down a little bit. Yeah. From 395 about
Holds his swing, pushes the count to 2-2.
down about 110.
We're also lucky that our sponsors have stuck with us from the beginning. Alterna Savings stepped up to the plate with a big sponsorship early on and let us keep the money for 3 or 4 years while we tried to organize this thing.
Sponsors play a large role, Aaron. I don't think people realize the expenses that go into running an event of this size, and it's nice that they were able to let you keep the money and still maintain that sponsorship.
Absolutely. You know, the expenses are huge. There's a hosting fee that goes to Softball Canada. We also pay for all the umpire rooms for the entire week. That's a walk there. Obviously, we have this beautiful live stream that you're watching.
Number 12, the third baseman, Mark Stack.
Yeah, Liam Shea did a good job working a walk there. There's one out, and he's on first.
I was talking about the live stream. We're sitting in the booth with the two live stream wizards beside us who have their equipment all set up and are doing a great job. They travel all around the province and probably elsewhere doing these games and other sports, and we're lucky to have them so close to carp.
Big first pitch strike there. Kind of jealous of their snacks too, Aaron. Not gonna lie.
This is not their first ball game. They've got lots of good snacks here. And as the week goes on, you'll see some new bells and whistles coming. We're gonna have some multiple camera games as we get down towards the playoffs at the end of the week.
Big thanks to them too, because it's sharing the booth with us. It's pretty snug in here, but they've gladly welcomed us in.
The other group that deserves a big thanks is the Carp Agricultural Society and Carp Fair Board, who has given us some of their facilities to use, free of charge. For those who have never been to the Carp Fair in September, it's well worth your trip. It's one of the best fairs, definitely in Eastern Ontario, if not Ontario.
I think it's the best little fair in Canada. It's been deemed the best little fair in Canada, if I'm not mistaken. I'm a yearly attendee along with my family. Sunday seems to be the kids' day for those of you with kids.
Good play there by the pitcher.
Throws to first for the second out. Always great live entertainment at the Ag Hall as well.
Tomorrow night, there's a bingo night.
Number 7.
Is that the car bingo? Wednesday night car bingo in Carp?
Yeah. For those of you in smaller communities looking to raise money, Carp has developed this drive-in bingo that gets 400 or so cars every Wednesday night in the summer, and you just play bingo from your car.
Got Jordan Hamilton at the dish here. Got 2 outs and a runner on second base. A 1-0 count. Fouled off. 1-1 count.
So Newfoundland and Labrador, sponsored by Physio and Co. Trying to get something going here at the bottom part of their order again. They've got a runner on second. Still down 4-1 after some early scoring by Owen Sound, but they've kept them in this game. Kept themselves in this game with some good defense.
They're giving themselves a chance here. It's been a close game. Closer than the score would indicate at 4-1.
And Mannion has pitched every inning so far. They've seen him a few times.
1-2 on the way, fouled off.
Those who watch Major League Baseball know that a lot of the managers there don't like their pitchers going through the order more than 2 or 3 times these days because the analytics says they start getting hit harder. So I haven't seen any other pitchers warming up yet for Owen Sound.
I think the shorter game earlier this afternoon, this game might be all his.
Could be.
Another good piece by Hamilton there to stay alive.
At the Canadian National Championships, the typical schedule is teams play 2 games a day during the round robin. There tends to be a decent amount of time off for teams to do a little bit of looking around the area. This tournament has on Friday something a little bit different, which is a reseeding round after the round robin.
1-2 pitch down. Runner thought about advancing, but scooches back to second. 2-2 count here with 2 out.
It was Nash skipping around there. It looks like he thought about going and couldn't make up his mind, skipping around in the middle.
I think he made the right decision there.
Yeah.
Ball did not get too far away from Hagerman.
Yeah, and it went towards third base.
Top of the 5th, 2 out and 2-2 count. Pitch on the way.
Oh,
Ball 3, and Hagerman throws down to second. Gets past the shortstop.
that's not a bad.
Runner advances.
You're a catcher, but he had a huge lead, and I just don't think the fielder was quite ready for that ball to get all the way through.
Definitely needs to be communication between your catcher and your shortstop if you're going to have your shortstop run in behind the runner on second. Another good foul ball there. Just barely missed a truck that happened to be passing by on the road behind us here. That's why you hear the roar from the crowd.
F-150.
Hopefully that wasn't my dad's truck. But as part of the diamond upgrades, we actually made the backstop netting even higher. But that one went pretty high and over the netting, and luckily missed the truck. Did not cause any accidents. We're all good here in Carp. Another of the diamond upgrades, while the pitcher fixes his shirt, is we've upgraded the netting in between Diamond 1 and Diamond 2. The fields are relatively close, and we're trying to prevent the home runs from going over the left field into Diamond 2, but we still had somebody hit one over the netting today.
3-2 pitch, ripped to short. Thrown on to first for the out. And
again, Newfoundland comes up just short. They've had lots of runners on, but are just having trouble pushing them across. It is still 4-1, Owen Sound over Newfoundland.
Batting for Owen Sound, number 25.
we're back here. Umpire just having a conversation with the Owen Sound coach. They've got too many players on the field. They're warming up a second pitcher here. And one pitcher, one catcher, and then somebody to protect the pitcher and catcher on foul balls. But they've got a fourth guy out there that Umpire wants it 3 max.
Yeah, it was one of the other discussions during the coaches meeting that for those who have been to carp, you'll know that along the sides of the diamond, they do have small backstops where pitchers and catchers traditionally warm up, but it's not fully screened in. So the umpire crew made the decision with so many fans around, they don't want people getting hurt, so they've asked the pitchers and catchers to warm up down the sidelines with pitcher, catcher, and one person protecting them. So that's why they're on the field.
I was wondering why they were warming up in the field of play, so that's some good clarification.
You may see later in the tournament, once we stop using Diamond 2, that teams may, especially the ones on the third base side, may warm up closer to where Diamond 2 is. But for now, that's why they're on the field.
Ball ripped back up through the middle for a leadoff single. Hogue on for is that the second or third time tonight?
Now batting for Owen Sound, number 17, the catcher.
I think at least the second.
Hagerman.
And here's the catcher here. Hagerman up. He's already has 2 RBIs in this game.
I think we might have a pinch runner here. Looks like James Martell might be coming in to pinch run for Hogue. I'm not sure. And that is the change being made. So number 10, Martell in to run for number 25, Hogue.
So the score's been stuck at 4-1 for a while. It's been a pretty close game. It's just Owen Sound's been better at cashing in the runners.
See what Hagerman can do here. Squares up. Ball's up and out for ball 1. Martell at first base there. Local connection. He goes to school here locally and also played in the GOFL last year.
What team was he with? The
Manotick Brewers.
Oh, okay.
That pitch gets away. 2-0 count.
I know that there were a couple local kids that got picked up for various teams, as well as, of course, the host team that's playing next, the Ottawa Valley Chiefs.
Change for Owen Sound. Now in the game is number 10, James Martell.
Two-0 pitch on the way here. Squares, pulls back. Ball 3. Kippenhuck works himself into a jam here. 3-0 count with a runner on second base.
If you've noticed that the Twitter has gone quiet, it's because I'm usually the one operating the Twitter, and it's hard to tweet and do announcing at the same time.
This is very true.
But
we are holding microphones today. Tomorrow we will have headsets. The ball 4 over the head, and Martell takes third. Gentlemen here in the booth did not know we were going to be announcing games today, so luckily they did bring some microphones for us, and tomorrow hopefully we'll have headsets and be able to have our scorebook, and maybe Aaron can even live tweet during the game.
Maybe. Just looking over on Diamond 2 for those interested, it looks like it is 7-0 for Ontario 2 versus Quebec in the 5th. So if that score holds, it'll be a early end of the night on Diamond 2 with the 7-run mercy rule after 5.
Just to clarify that, Aaron, we almost had it the earlier game that we were announcing, but
number 67, the first baseman, Curtis Roos.
The mercy rules are 15 runs after 3, 10 after 4, and 7 after 5 or 6.
Okay. So that'll be the last game on the night on Diamond 2. We have got one more game live streamed for you on Diamond 1. The Ottawa Valley Chiefs, who lost their first game against the Saskatchewan Delisle Fort Protection Pride. And I believe they lost their first game.
I believe you're correct.
Yeah,
He's got some change for Newfoundland. Now playing first base, Nathan Kenny.
Yeah, it looks
Number
like
7.
That was their game against Owen Sound.
Nathan Kenny.
so. We're late in the game here, and I see Owen Sound getting some more batters in, but runners on the corners.
Nobody out there. Little flare into left.
That'll
Martel will come around to score.
All right, so we got another run now. 5-1 for Owen Sound. We got runners on first and second.
Now batting for Owen Sound, number 11, the second baseman, Mitch McComb.
That's a good hit right there, and that's tough to come in off the bench and put a good pitch on a good swing on an inside pitch and catch that runner from third.
And he wasn't trying to do much with that, just made contact and shot it into the outfield and no man's land. Got the lights on now here in Carp. Still perfectly clear. A little bit of wind now blowing, but not much.
Kippenhuck wide with that one. 1-0 count. Still nobody out. Runners on first and second. He's wide again.
Lots of local softball legends in the crowd. Randy Peck, who's former national team catcher. I've got Bruce Castleman just walking by the booth as well, who's a former Canadian national team catcher. I also see some women's players here from the Ottawa South Angels.
Little delay there. The umpire just wanted the player protecting the pitcher and catcher to not be tossing a ball. Just told the coach to get him to hold on to it. Back to live action. Runners first and second. Squares up, fouls it off.
So score is now 5-1. 2 runners on here. Newfoundland needs to be careful that they don't let this inning get out of hand, or else the game can be over.
Yeah, Mitch McComb looking to blow things wide open here if he can. Good rip down to second. They turn 2.
Beautiful double play. So
Very well played.
Newfoundland's having nothing with my assertion that could be a big inning. So we've got a runner on third after that play. 2 out. So we've got a switch at third. I think that's the 2-out catcher rule.
You are correct.
Now batting for Owen Sound, number 36, the center fielder, Aiden Yurdy.
Aiden Yard at the dish. 2 outs. Oh, just clarifying who the last available is. Not sure on that one, but Martel, as the pinch runner earlier, is back on third. Yard looks at ball 1. 2 outs here in the bottom of the 5th. 1 run in and a runner on third.
So those just joining us. It's a foul ball. One of the things we're doing here for the players is the Ivor Fashion Never Give Up Award, which we're handing out at the end of each game. The award is sponsored by Ivor Fashion, which is a local company founded by a former competitive athlete who's now wheelchair bound, and he's started this business to make comfortable clothing specifically for those who have disabilities. So we're giving out hats from his company to each player, and Travis, the founder, was able to come out and watch some balls. So we're thankful for him and his support of the event, and I think that the players are enjoying the hat giveaways at the end of each game.
Great idea, great business, and certainly nice that we're able to support. And I don't know a ball player that said no to a free hat.
We had many committee discussions over the past 4 years about hats, and for me, I never quite understood, the significance of getting a hat just right. But
Yard checks his swing, did he? No, he did not.
yes, he did.
First base rings him up for the third out.
So now we're still 5-1.
After 5 complete.
I guess we'll let you back in.
Number 23, Ryan Baker, the second baseman.
Top of the 6th here. Ryan Mayer leading off for Newfoundland. Mannion still doing the throwing. First pitch in there for a strike.
Very happy to have a lot of local media attention about this tournament. CTV News was here filming a segment that should be available online later tonight, and I just shared on the Twitter a nice article written by the Ottawa Citizen.
Strike 2 in there for Mannion. Mayer facing an 0-2 count.
I see. For the
Swings at a rise ball.
For the fans
First
from
out.
Newfoundland watching this game, I see Coach Mark Nash was interviewed in the Citizen, has some nice quotes.
Now batting for Newfoundland, number 44, the right fielder, Joel Nash.
First pitch down and out of the zone. Ball 1 to Nash. Media coverage certainly helps support, spread the word about the tournament. Nice to have them on board.
Absolutely, and I know a lot of people, after not having much to do the past 2 years, are anxious to get out of their house and have something to do. So it's a nice, safe activity being down at the ballpark. Lots of space.
Is it the Team 1200 will be here tomorrow, Aaron?
Yeah, so TSN 1200 will be here broadcasting live from the park. For those of you who are not in the Ottawa area, you'll be able to find TSN 1200 streaming live online on their website, so you may be able to catch some of their coverage.
Showing my age there, calling it the Team 1200. 2-2 count here with one out, top of the sixth.
I know that the TSN guys have been asking the host committee to find some interviews, so they're going to be interviewing various different players and coaches from different teams.
Nash shows off the wheels again on a ball to short, but they get him in time this one.
Newfoundland continues to be scrappy. As we've said, the game's been closer than it shows. It's a 5-1 score, but they've had a lot of runners on, and really the difference has been Owen Sound has just been able to push them across. Chases that outside pitch.
Now batting for Newfoundland, the left fielder, number 8, Nathan Kenny.
Ball's hit into the gap, cut off in time. Good throw from center. He's in there with a double.
Safe in second.
Nice play.
Yeah, that was a good throw, good relay, and a great slide.
Now batting for Newfoundland, number 73, the first baseman, Lyndon Power.
Just making sure the bag's in there at second base.
It's a good swing by Nathan Kenny. Let's see if Newfoundland can get something going here. Designated player Lyndon Power at bat. Ball's down and in. Scooches away, but not far enough for Kenny to advance. Power goes after that rise ball up in the zone, fouls it off in behind us here.
See, that game is still going over on Diamond 2. Gonna check the score here.
Indian throws a change up. In there for a strike. 1-2 count. Runner on second base. And gets him swinging for the third out of the inning.
It's still 5-1 over here on Diamond 1, and Diamond 2, it's 7-0 Tavistock over Quebec, and it looks like it's the bottom of the fifth, so last chance over there for Quebec.
play.
So this is the top of the order again for Owen Sound. Bottom of the 6th inning. It's not a very quick ball game going on here.
Go with methodical.
We still have one game to get in here on Diamond 1 when this one ends. The host team playing Saskatchewan.
Tell you, Aaron, Kippenhuck's done pretty well coming in relief here with
Okay.
power in the 2nd inning.
Yeah, he's really held them.
A 1-2 count here.
It's getting cool here in Carp. I might need to go get a sweater.
Temperature certainly has dropped. That sun and the heat earlier today, I don't think anyone's going to complain.
Nope.
2-2 pitch, and he gets him swinging at a rise ball, strike 3.
I know the umpire crew has been
Now
working
batting
really
for
hard.
Owen Sound. Number 14, the shortstop, Dallas Kipfer.
We've got, of course, the 3-person umpire crew on each game, so 6 umpires currently in action. Later in the week, we'll try to get the umpire assignment so we know who's on each game.
Pool of 8 umpires, Aaron, I think. Is that correct?
Yeah, I'm just looking for on my phone the list. So the umpire-in-chief is Terry Richter from Alberta. Deputy umpire-chief is Mike Nerone, who's from Quebec. And then the working umpires. The working umpires are Malcolm Murray from Alberta, Chris Carroll from Ontario, Jean-Michel Laberté from Quebec, Marcel Saint-Jean from Quebec, Andrew Godin from New Brunswick, who a lot of us know here in Ottawa. He lived in Ottawa for a while and did a bunch of our games here. Christian Brown from Quebec, Jean-Claude Bizert from Ontario, and David Harrington of Napanee.
Kiefer does a good job spoiling a changeup there.
Now, the last time that Softball Canada hosted a U23 men's was in 2019. The winner of that event was Ontario 1 New Hamburg Mustangs, followed by the Tavistock Hops. And then the host Saskatchewan Diamondbacks team placing 3rd.
Kiefer swings at strike 3.
You're right.
2 out.
This pitcher's done a great job sitting down the Owen Sound batters.
Batting for
Kiefer,
Owen Sound. Number 34, the left fielder, Clay Dobert.
who I think he's now struck out twice, is in the junior national team program.
Yeah, Kippenhuck's done well. He came in the 2nd inning, 2 out. He's limited the damage. Tough hop there for the 3rd baseman on that play, and Dobert gets in.
It's one of those bounces off the bat that infielders hate. Just, had 2 or 3 bounces before it got to him and was spinning all over the place.
Now batting for Owen Sound, number 7.
Wade Kawagashig at the plate. Runner on first. Catcher did a good job to squeeze that one. Keep the runner at first.
Wade's had a good game at the plate for Owen Sound.
Leaves that one down. 2-0 count. Peel down to the umpire second base, no swing. Two-0 pitch on the way. In there for a strike on the outside corner.
Fans don't seem to mind that it's getting cooler. I don't think anyone's left the park yet. I imagine people are hanging around to see the host team tonight.
Ooh. Change up just misses. Pushes count 3-1. Three-one count here with a runner on first base. 2 outs. Tippin Huck gets him swinging on that one. Pushes the count full.
Quebec not going quietly over on diamond 2, ends up pushing a run across, so it's now 7-1 in the 6th inning on diamond 2.
3-2 pitch here on the way. 2 out. Runner should be going. And he gets him swinging.
It's bottom of the inning?
Yes, after 6 complete.
5-1.
In favor of Owen Sound.
So even though there's going to be live streaming at the next game, we're not going to do the live play-by-play. We need to save our voices for later in the week. I know I am already feeling it on the vocal cord.
He's down the bunt. He's in there for a bunt single.
Who's that?
Adrian Green, the leadoff bunt single.
Yeah, so the number 9 hitter getting on base with the drag bunt.
For Newfoundland. Top of the order.
I don't think Owen Sound was necessarily expecting that at this point in the game, but they need a rally.
Yes, this is
It's always a good start here.
Yeah, last chance for Newfoundland, and this is where you want to be with Pomeroy up to bat. There are 3 national team athletes coming up, the next 3 batters, so they could rally. Of course, with Owen Sound being the home team, if Newfoundland doesn't tie it or go ahead here, then the game will be over.
Strike on the outside corner.
Mannion looks a little fired up now. A little extra gas on that one.
Yeah.
Doesn't like my thoughts of a comeback, I don't think.
Pomeroy fouls it back.
He's don't want to be outside the shoot police, but he's getting a little wide now. He's getting fired up to end the game, but
Seems to have been enforced in the early innings, and then the umpires kind of
They get tired too.
Yes.
We'll see. It's
I don't think he's going to start enforcing it here in the top of the 7th, but
No.
one never knows.
no.
He is getting a bit wide, but
Yeah. The pitcher and the coach are aware that it's an issue at this point, and
see if Pomeroy can keep things going here. Rip through the hole.
here we go.
Green goes from 1st to 3rd. Pomeroy stays at 1st.
So Pomeroy's had a really nice game. Some great.
Runners on the corner with nobody out.
He's had some great plays in the outfield. He's been on base, doing what the leadoff batter is supposed to do. What do you think? Does he steal
Batting
here?
for Newfoundland, number
I
9.
think he might be going here. Liam
shortstop.
Shea. Oh,
Liam Shea.
I think Owen Sound might be thinking the same thing. They're going to
Yeah.
have a little
Line
chat.
out of ball.
Yeah, Liam Shea, as I said, is another of the athletes on Newfoundland in the national team pool, and we've already seen Pomeroy that he's already run out an infield single. He took away a sure hit in left center field, so he's
Extra
got
bases
wheels.
hit.
Yeah. So I'd be shocked if they don't try to do something to get him over to second. If this was the women's game, I'd be calling sort of a fake bunt type
Yeah, I was going to say, I
situation.
wonder if they get him to square and pull back, but let him run.
Yeah. I imagine the first pitch is going to be a pitch out.
All right, so Shea at the dish. Runners on 1st and 3rd. Nobody out. And Mannion trying to close things out here.
Green on 3rd also showed some wheels, so he's going to be watching carefully what happens.
Check swing. Into the ground. Strike 1.
Pomeroy didn't jump there.
See if he goes here on this one. 0-1 count. Nobody out. Runners on the corners.
Nope. He's staying.
Change up inside misses. 1-1 count.
The other thing you have is you have some good hitters with Shea and Stack coming up. You don't want to get out unnecessarily with,
No, you certainly don't want to run yourself into an out here. He's staying pretty close to 1st.
yeah.
Shea works the count to 2-1.
Don't think he's going here.
Stays put, and Shea swings through strike 2.
No real sign from the third base coach there, so I imagine that the runner's staying. Betting on the hitter.
Mannion gets him swinging at strike 3. The first out of the inning.
Next batter for Newfoundland is Stack.
Now batting for Newfoundland, number 12, the third baseman, Mark Stack.
Runner still at the corners here with 1 out for Stack.
This is the last chance time for Newfoundland and Labrador. It's been a good game, close game, even though the score is 5-1. There's been lots of runners on base for both teams.
Stack fouls that one back. 0-1 count here with 1 out and runners on the corners. Mannion trying to close things out.
Mannion's pitched this full game, and did he pitch the full game earlier today as
He
well?
pitched 4 full innings. They won the game by mercy, but threw all 4 innings.
Owen Sound has had a second pitcher warming up down the third baseline if he's needed, but I imagine Mannion's going to close this out.
I'm sure he was happy to see the sun go away and the cooler weather arrive. Little flare back up the middle. Good piece of hitting right there. And then push a run across.
A run in for Newfoundland.
So that's Green that scored, so it's now 5-2 with only 1 out. Runners on first and second. Newfoundland trying to rally here. It's their last chance in the top of the 7th.
Now batting for Newfoundland, number 7, the first baseman, Jordan Hamilton.
So Jordan Hamilton at the dish. Jordan Pomeroy on second. Mark Stack on first. Newfoundland making some noise here in the top of the 7th.
I imagine a lot of you folks watching back home are family and friends of some of these players, and we'll be back doing announcing tomorrow and the rest of the week. So if you have any fun facts you want us to share on the broadcast, feel free to send us a direct message on Facebook or on Twitter, letting us know some information about these great athletes.
Jordan Hamilton swings at the second pitch. It's down 0-2 here. Fouls that 0-2 pitch off to stay alive. I think you hit the nail on the head, Aaron. Newfoundland's had some great at-bats. Just haven't quite been able to push those runs across.
Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised if these two teams meet again. You know, I'd say that both are within the, the top half in terms of strong teams that are here on paper anyway. The tournament schedule, as I was saying, on the Friday has an interesting seeding round. So they take all the round robin games, they seed the players, they seed the teams, and they have an opportunity to move up or down in the standings. And a team is eliminated after Friday, and everybody else moves on to the playoffs on Saturday.
Hamilton gets into one here. Pomeroy tags at second.
Pomeroy gets there easy.
Good cut by Hamilton, just not quite enough to change the score.
Newfoundland's keeping it interesting. They've got runners on the corners now. 2 out. 5-2.
Ryan Mayer at the dish.
The second baseman, number 23, Ryan Mather.
Home run obviously would tie the game, so it's still close here.
Game is certainly within reach. Mayer looks at the first pitch. Strike one. 0-1 count here with runners on the corners and 2 outs. Rip
That's
back
a shot.
up the middle. That might score 2. We'll see. And it does.
There we are.
Good rip by Mayer into the right center field gap for a stand-up double and cashes those 2 base runners. Pushes things to 5-4.
There we go. We got a ball game.
2
So
runs in for Newfoundland.
top of 7. Newfoundland's the last chance. They've got 2 out. Runner
Joel Nash at the plate.
Yeah, runner in scoring position here.
Now batting for Newfoundland. Number 44, the right fielder, Joel Nash.
Owen Sound 1 out away from closing things out here. We'll see if they can get it.
They're staying with Mannion here.
First pitch strike on the outside corner.
If you have a team that can hit, you're always in the game, and this Newfoundland team is really fired up. You might be able to hear them down the first base side, cheering their guys on.
Joel Nash fouls that one off. 0-2 count here. 2 outs, runner on second. Top of the 7th. Nash does a good job spoiling that one again.
No.
0-2 count again. Spoiled down the third baseline once again.
They're on this pitcher hard now. They've seen him all game. Great at bat here with the pressure of having 2 out, top of 7.
They aren't getting fooled. I half wonder if Nash is sitting changeup here and just spoiling everything else, waiting for one. We'll see what happens. Having a great at bat right now. 2 outs. 0-2 pitch on the way. Gets him swinging at a rise
That's
ball to
the
end the
game.
game.
Well, thanks for joining us for a great ball game. Final score, 5-4.
5-4.
We'll be back in the booth.
Pitcher, Riley Mannion for Owen Sound.
We'll be back in the booth tomorrow at some point, so feel free to send in some tips about some of these great
Don't
players.
forget, we have the 50-50 draw tonight. There's one every day.
Thanks to the guys in the booth and the teams on the field. That was a great game.
Awesome game.
Hold on to your tickets. We're going to do that right now. Nine, 4, 4, 4, 6, 3. A pink ticket. You win $615.